Welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium. Last episode, we continued on eastward along the shore, and we have exhausted what I believe to be the end of the peninsula. We met a professor, and we also met this girl named Acel.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hold on. That is awful.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that.
Death?
A man lies on the boardwalk. His limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle.
You take a mental note. Kumotiri. Seems important somehow. Damn, it's cold outside.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand.
Take this, you're cold.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket. Kim, what's gotten into you?
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
The hat. I wish I was wearing the bum hat. Give her your hat. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
God, I knew it. I fucking knew it. It's okay. I don't need the encyclopedia. I could use the bum hat. I could use the bum hat. You said it was... She's sampling the outdoorsies. According to her, her male friends are inside this tent, and they're making music. So, our itinerary is this. It is currently 1500, about 3 p.m. There is a dead man on the pier, whose case we can take. There is the Black Church, and the boys who state that there are weird happenings. 2 cases that we can take. And then we go to Alice to check on the victim's armor and there's a phone number somewhere. Yes. Then after that, we'll do some karaoke at the Whirling in Rags before retiring at the fishing village. Let's go.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
Oh, I get you, Kim.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Oh, a jam. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Canisters filled with what appear to be water. The label says distilled. Wild, wild, I wanna see where the child I used to be. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name, Nazafed Ultra. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
This is Egghead.
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
The rearranger. He's German.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Solve the egghead puzzle?
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed.
A strangely dressed young man says without looking up from his toolbox. Paranoid? Noid? What if I want to speak to you first?
I suck at socialising, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in. Get a reading on your sign.
Before he's finished talking, he's already turned back to his tools. You know what? I understand, Noid. I completely understand.
The young man picks up a thin metal saw blade and nods.
Let's try again with
The
Egghead.
young man with the tape recorder acknowledges your return.
This is hardcore.
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega.
Say nothing.
Internally coherent.
Say nothing.
Hardcore! Alright! Yeah!
Nothing.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Oh, Egghead is gone. And he's wearing the goddamn chaps. No, not chaps. Sorry. What? Sunflower flare cowboy boots?
Hardcore! Ah!
He lets out an agonized roar over the feebleish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. So hardcore!
Is it though?
It is!
But is it? I mean, really?
I was thinking that too.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chicks checker. Yeah!
Oh, we were almost there.
Back to the heavyweight. Hardcore! 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 Internally. All core!
He furrows.
Hard! Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
I don't know what to say exactly.
Under the radar. Over the top.
We'll try again later.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like.
Oh, this is some kind of Linkin Park shit.
Imbecilic. Yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
Oh, we're already in the future. Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
You know what? I used to have a friend. Well, he still is my friend. He used to work music venues. He still might be doing that. It's been a while since I've seen him. I miss him. Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
You know what? That's okay. Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need. The place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dope heads.
Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
What kind?
The spooky kind.
What do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Alright, mate.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
Yeah.
People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
You know what? It's 3:30. It's still early. I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside the building yet.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
And what about the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. All right.
Oh, god damn it. The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool-infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Be the cool cop. Let the key... catch the key as it flies towards you.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
I'll catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man.
The speed freak nods to you.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long? Like a week, maybe?
This is cool. Taking initiative like this is a proper citizen behavior, and I endorse it.
Thank you. We just thought it was the right thing to do.
Right. Other questions?
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Better safe than sorry. Anything more you can tell me?
Yes. There's also the machinery.
The machinery?
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there. One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Oh, bottle of water?
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
The feeling?
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
Something.
No, the other one.
The other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know? It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
Oh, Andre, don't say that. A crab man?
Yeah, you know, The way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
This game's got me fucked up.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Are you sure there was a crab man?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
How can you be so sure they're burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Wow. You can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my repertoire.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you. Sure. What?
I know Nate has signs, but what's the deal with Egghead there?
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
How do you communicate with him? How do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kinda here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his centre, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
You mentioned some kind of ecclesiastes own the church. Who are these ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a Meteor name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
God. I mean, didn't Encyclopedia tell us early game? Whatever. Before we go on, what you mean by Meteoran?
You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo.
Sounds like a place. I've had enough of those. Let's talk about something else.
Yes?
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even is running water.
Don't you mean water? And it's distilled too.
Oh, it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
What's with all the Nosafed?
The what now?
The Nosafed Ultra. You have a lot of those lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter, can't even breathe.
You're saying fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Can I have some? I have some nose problems too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here you go.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze. A cell was high. Unexplained Nosafed. Headphones were sold.
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids?
Okay, kids. Now gather around.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
What is this? Sometime in the past, I'm not sure when, where, or how, I fell sick and became the shadow you see now. But before that, I have reason to believe I was a police detective.
But you still are.
Thank you for your kind words, but everyone in here sees I'm a disgrace to the uniform.
What happened?
Disco happened.
I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast.
Shut it.
What? I have. I've said that.
Now, obviously, that might as well have been 1,000 years ago, but there's still some detective left in me.
The young speed freak is silent.
This isn't the makings of a club. It's a tent full of lab equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Where is his friend? Did he lose his friend? The distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
The speaker. Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker. You only have one.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
You have no headphones. Wouldn't a cell need her headphones to spin tape?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
I know you pawn them, likely for lab equipment and drug ingredients.
I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
That Nuzafed is here for its active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine. Almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
There is no need for me to pile on anymore, is there?
No shit.
In short, you try to use a police detective to set up a drug lab.
That's... Come on, that's...
Haha. Against the law?
I meant to say, not true.
So, what are we gonna do with you?
What do you mean, do?
You tell me what's really going on, and we'll work from there. I can be lenient.
What do you mean by lenient?
Not calling backup and hauling you all off to the pen, for starters.
Okay, man. Oh, things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revershoal.
Because we do. We totally do.
We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
To get our foot in the door.
And why did you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
They're not really spooky, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
Give me your cash.
Come on, man.
The young man doesn't move.
No fucking way.
Yes, fucking way.
Without a word, the other speed freak pulls a red wallet out of the toolbox and hands it to you.
Let's do this clean. No speed lab, just a club for anodic music.
Yeah!
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance.
Oh, you tell him, Egghead. What's that about a fish?
There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Needs to. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time.
We are.
We need a win, Andre. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
Right. Let's call this incident crime prevention. But I have my eye on you.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels and nothing but. I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
Oh, the way. That's it for now.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Well, that was, not bad. God. Well, we walked away with 20 bucks. Let's hope we don't find a crabman in there. A real crabman. Let's talk to a cell real quick.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
I'll help you, alright.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crabman, than the others.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
Lieutenant nods, his face is stone. What did this crabman look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on, quit stalling on me. What did he look like?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
Okay, you're fucking me up, Acel.
A crab and a banger?
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
Well, you were wrong. I do believe you.
Why?
What would you stand to gain?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know more about your associates. I'll make this quick. It's getting late. 4 p.m.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Your associates try to use me to set up a drug lab. I'm guessing you knew of this plan.
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much.
This is why I didn't go into the tent.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I don't care. I'm loco. I just wanted you to know that I know about the plan.
Okay, but I still regret it. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. I promise.
You don't need to make promises. A cell.
May I ask, what did you tell them?
Do what you will with your dance club plans. Just no drug labs, please.
Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Alright. We've made it good. Time to tackle this goddamn... this goddamn crab man. But I'm liking our odds. We've got the cuirass and the gloves from the T500. Let's don our bum hat. Hell yeah. And our savoir-faire, dazzling reflexes, Viscalc, oversized superstar sunglasses. Oh fuck. Alright. Here we go.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. Feels exceptional. 300 tons of pine would fit together seamlessly. It's old too, cut and carved many centuries ago.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
Wow. Amazing.
There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What's suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
Padlock, padlock, padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Oh, I want the sticker. Peel it off without ripping it.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker in your ledger after the last entry where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Open the padlock with a key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
Pull on
A
the
great
doors.
whoosh of air rushes into the dark yards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Oh, Mr. Crab. Wherefore art thou, Mr. Crab? First we'll save. Then, a strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Inspect the beams. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. This figure was added later. It's not part of the original church. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as contact mics? Which way? Towards the broken glass or towards the side?
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Yell as loud as you can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Kim, what's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this. Oh, except sleep. The unconscious ocean of sleep.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing, on its premises.
Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up at the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Shit, we should not have stood there before. Not before seeing all the other things. Perception, sight. Try to see beyond the shadows.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
Follow the shadow's movements.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
On the ceiling.
Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away.
Blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Well, maybe we should explore the rest of the church first, or... yeah, okay, we'll talk to it first.
The shadow is a man. A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man.
Hey, who's there? Say nothing, be quiet for now.
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
What is happening?
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Revachol.
I guess Villalobos is supposed to be Hispanic. The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
Well, I'm clean, Tiago. Or Santi. Whichever you want.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use. Nah, I'm not gonna lie.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
Oh, I'm very in touch with my suffering, thank you.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
That's all well and good, but we need to talk about the unlicensed occupation of ecclesiastic property. Nah, I... Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy under the roof? What is this shit?
It doesn't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
Well, that's great. That is the complete antithesis of what it is that I'm trying to get established here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege, saving perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Do you know where the other spooker is? Spooker?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
No habla español, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
Wait, so there is another person living in the church, and it's, viejita?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Okay, man, I get it. I'd be surprised if it's Neha. And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who she is?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
the ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
So, what do you think about the nightclub?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
This boy sounds like some Snoop Dogg ass. Okay then, thanks. Well, we've got no problem here. Time to run. Oh, what's this? Mask Banger's silk scarf. +1 pain threshold. Sorry man, I'm taking this. A figure drawn in frost on the snow depicting a deer. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. A spider has spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Shoes? Are those shoes I see? What's this? Mask Banger's red brogues. You know what? I'll take it. I'll freaking take it. These dapper snakeskin shoes have an almost invisible white-on flower motif sewn on the tongue. The toe caps are still dusty from lying in the church. And what of the scarf? This huge red scarf is still dusty from lying in the church. A subtle red-on-red embroidery embellishes it with cocky roosters and mask floral motifs. Oh my goodness. Look at us. Some money. A portable Harman Walshy tape recorder. Is it still possible it's recording something? 2 decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. Someone siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. Alright, time to save.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty.
Is this Dolores Day?
This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
I kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Oh, this is gonna hurt me, isn't it? But I love it. I close my eyes first.
The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you.
I open my eyes.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive.
It's compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same as you get up.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place.
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Oh.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of Dolorianism?
Kim, are you a follower of Dolorianism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Dolorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
I didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The Dolorian system does not demand faith, only accordance.
How did I know this is the mother of humanism? Oh, read The Greatest Innocence.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir La Clé. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
Okay, what else? Was she smart?
Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove
Chess?
an interesting challenge to a man. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time. It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the Dolorian era.
Wow.
Wow indeed. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
Real Belt. Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory. Although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
I'm sorry, what?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from inacentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic.
Oh
as
my
well.
god.
Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called
Oh my
the
god.
Army of Humanity,
It's Christianity all over again.
suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity.
Oh my god. Oh. She is the white woman.
She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb. In icons such as this, little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Oh. She is somehow connected to the case.
She's been dead for 300 years. None of this is, in fact. This church, the coast, this isn't a good place to get lost in.
You're right. Last thing. Viscalc. We'll put on our specs. Any other Viscalc? Viscalc. I don't think so. Lego.
The mother of humanism stands above you. A precious and a jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text, a light motif below them both.
Who shattered, or what shattered, this mosaic?
Unknown. A motor carriage, a gunshot, someone falling into it, or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break.
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. Small figures of wise men, common men. Worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet.
The motto.
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau.
After life, death. After death, the new. The new life.
And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
Le monde means day, but I don't know what le gré means. I think, if I were to guess, probably tomorrow. I don't know.
After life, death. After death, life again.
Oh.
After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again.
Death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What's the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Cool.
Eyes cool.
Step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you.
Okay. It's been an hour, but since we're in here anyways, let's push it to about hour half. Inspect the radio computer.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in the Doom commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Wait, let me just investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
Shall we? I think we'll do this in the next episode. But, glad we're not dead. I see you, Santi. Check the journal. A cell to talk to our associates. Ravers start a nightclub. Sync the signs with Noid. Solve the egghead puzzle. Okay, yeah. I'll see you in the next episode.